Thank you, Bianca, reporting from Quezon City.
Vincent Asaro, who was charged with taking part in the 1978 airport heist that helped inspire the mafia movie Goodfellas, was found not guilty in a Brooklyn Federal Courtroom. Meanwhile, migrants in Serbia are put in trains in their journey to Croatia, while more than 1,000 Cuban citizens are stranded in Costa Rica. Kristine Domingo tells us why.
In America, an 80-year-old reputed mobster was found not guilty on Thursday of participating in a brazen 1978 New York airport heist that helped inspire the mafia movie Goodfellas. Vincent Asaro, whose arrest more than 35 years later had supposedly closed one of the most infamous unsolved crimes in the United States, was cleared of murder, extortion, and other crimes by a jury in Brooklyn Federal Court.
I got 2 years here and I'm dying to get home.
When asked what he planned to do, he said,
Have a good meal, see my family.
The 3-week trial featured numerous former organized crime figures whose testimony painted a picture of the violent life of a New York mafioso. Among those witnesses was Asaro's cousin Gaspare Valenti, who wore a wire for years and who linked Asaro to the Lufthansa heist and the 1969 murder. Until Asaro's arrest, the only man ever charged for the robbery was a Lufthansa employee who functioned as the inside man. In Serbia, thousands of migrants continued on Thursday their journey to northern Europe by trains from the Serbian town of Sid. They had crossed into Serbia from Macedonia, and some of them had to spend a night in the open waiting to get the registration papers. One Syrian migrant said he didn't have much hope for the diplomacy and pinned blame for the conflict on the Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. UNHCR is preparing for the coming winter, building facilities at the station in Sid and the camps in Principovac and Adasevici.
Right now, UNHCR is preparing for harsh weather conditions, and of course the Commissioner's Office also, and so there are also bases in Principovac and Adasevici that are prepared for winter coming.
In the meantime, Slovenian soldiers began the construction of a barbed wire fence close to the border with Croatia, a day after the government said it would start to put up fences to help control large numbers of migrants. In Costa Rica, more than 1,000 Cubans heading to the United States via Costa Rica have been detained at an immigration center in the Costa Rican capital of San Jose, stretching resources after authorities in the country broke up a smuggling ring. Earlier this week, Costa Rica busted the migrant smuggling ring, which reportedly charged thousands of dollars for each person to get to the United States. Media reported that the Cuban migrants were detained in Paso Canoas near the Panama border. Now seeing papers to travel through Nicaragua, the Cuban nationals are waiting for papers to clear their passage north towards the United States. Costa Rican authorities are in a conundrum, with many of the Cuban citizens now without food, shelter, and transport after the smuggling gang they had paid was disbanded by officials. Kristine Domingo reporting for Y News.